Hi gardeners, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through all the things you should be doing beginning of April, first 2 weeks of April, 4 weeks before your last frost date. And we're going to do a little bit of garden maintenance as I go through them. So let's go ahead.
By this time you should see your first set of true leaves on your seedlings that you've planted indoors. If not, your second set of true leaves. That means that it's time to up-pot your seedlings so that they are nice and healthy and ready to grow on in more nutrient soil. The next thing to do this time of year is to go around your yard and cut back any of the spent foliage from last year's growth and add mulch to areas of your garden that have bare soil to prevent weeds from popping up and to retain moisture and support microbial and insect and worm life below the ground. This is also the time to start installing garden structures such as trellises and row covers.
So as I'm installing this polytunnel, or row fleece cloth, anything like that, I saw Laura from Garden Answer install her new ones in her flower garden, and I thought it was such a great system to be able to easily access her crops by just, lifting it up and using a bungee to hold it in place in the wind instead of staking it. And then you can really recoup all of your fleece without getting these tear holes and stuff season after season. But I didn't have the money to purchase the one that she had, and the one she had was really overkill for the size of my yard. So I picked up these hoop frames at the dollar store for about $5. They come with 5 of them, and you can space them out as much as you want. I did about 1.5 feet. You can do it up to 2 feet. I think that's pretty good. Her system, she could do 4 feet, but with these, I think you'd get too much bow in the middle. And then I just tied the ends around one of these garden stakes. You can get these anywhere at a hardware center or a dollar store or a garden center. You can go to Canadian Tire, anywhere is going to have these. They're just landscape fabric staples. You can get the big ones, they're going to be a little bit easier to tie off, but I got the small ones. Big ones are in the basement somewhere. And I just tied it as you saw in the front and in the back. And then I got this bungee. You can use any kind of bungee. I found this one in a craft section, and I did about 1.5 meters length, 160 centimeters, 150 centimeters, around that for this particular product. And then you just want to tie an end, the two ends together like this, and you're going to just place it along where you have the metal hoop and stake it in the ground. I'm going to zoom in and show you. And as you stake it, it's going to pull the bungee across the hoop and keep the fabric in place even in the wind, but you can still slide it up and down to get access to your cold weather crops and for planting, for harvesting and stuff like that. So it seemed really, really interesting to try it that way, and that's what I'm going to do this year.
The next thing to do over the next couple weeks is to take care of all the critters that you want to attract to your yard. That may include birds, bees, butterflies, bats, and anything else you might want. These serve a beneficial role by reducing weed seeds dropping on open soil, as well as eating pests that are flying or on your plants. To attract the birds that you want to your yard, choose the appropriate size feed, such as this finch feed, which is small and the feeder has small tiny holes, or install a open face feeder for larger seeds such as sunflowers. Suet is a great choice. It really benefits our native birds to have a source of high energy, high fat content readily available for them after coming out from hibernation. When choosing a bird house for your yard, consider the type of bird that you want. On screen is a table of common garden birds and their benefits that they bring to the yard, their preferred entrance hole size, as well as how high above the ground they prefer to nest. So make use of it as you will. And I'm going to be focusing on bluebirds and cardinals. I get them every year, as well as some finches to help with the weeds, and maybe some swallows, hopefully, to help with the mosquitoes. Birdhouses don't have to be expensive. The most important thing is to place them at an appropriate height and make sure that the hole is the right size for the bird you intend to house. Next, consider the homes of the bugs or beneficial insects that you would like in your yard, such as native bees, butterflies, moths, and ladybugs. Install bug hotels that will have bees in them on an east-facing side so that they have the morning sun to help heat up their wings for flight. Bee houses that overwintered for native bees, you can open up and clean out. You'll see that it has excrement from native bees from the previous season, and be careful not to disturb any cocoons that may have not opened yet. Most of them will have opened due to the warmth of the spring, but just in case, like this example of a spider nest, you want to leave them there. And yes, spiders are beneficial for the garden because they take care of other pests. Last but not least is bats. If you are so inclined, you can have a bat roost at your house, they nest in between these slats. Just make sure it's on a south or southwest facing wall because bats love it hot. And the last thing you want to do over the next 2 weeks is to be sure to get your root crops in the ground. Either your bulbs, your onion sets, your potatoes, or your seeds for your carrots and your parsnips, beets, rutabagas, all that stuff. They love to germinate at this time of year, so make sure you get those in the ground.
So that's it for this week, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe down below and leave a comment as to how helpful you thought this was. Yes, baby, I know, baby. Mwah. I gotta take the pug in. He's desperate for a lap and a cup of tea. So until next time, guys, bye.